everyone. Welcome to The Dish. I'm your host, Anna Christina. Thank you so much for tuning in. You picked a good day. Today, we're typically in the kitchen, but we're doing things a little bit different. And joining me is Frankie Quayle from Arsenal Tap Room. And I invited him because he is literally a beer genius, right? I thought I'd embarrass you just a little bit.
Your words, not mine. Her words, not mine. So, yeah,
right, we just need to clarify that really quick. But you
Fair
you have so much knowledge when it comes to beer. So we're going to deem you the beer nerd.
Sure.
That's good?
That's right.
And so let's talk a little bit about Arsenal Tap Room. So today you're joining me. We're going to talk about, if you've never been, you have to go check it out. Tell me about Arsenal Tap Room and where it's at. You guys just celebrated 1 year.
That's correct. So Arsenal Tap Room, we're located at 1419 Montesano Avenue in historic Somerville neighborhood. We like to consider ourselves a traditional beer garden, informal, communal. You know, just seat yourself. Your server will come get with you.
Very fun, relaxed.
Very fun. Exactly correct. Very relaxed. You might not know who's sitting to the left of you or to the right of you, but we want to foster that kind of environment.
That's the fun about it, though, right? You get to hang out, drink a beer, and you have a ton of different beers to choose from. So if you're not a beer person, by the end of this, you might be, right?
Exactly correct. We're going to make you into one.
Exactly.
Yes.
And so you're located right near also Augusta University, so
That's
people
correct.
can come and hang out there. It celebrated 1 year. That's so cool. Are you guys excited about that?
We were super excited. It was a great time. A lot of people came out and supported us because without the support of the community, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. So we appreciate that.
Exactly. And so kind of a cool thing, because most people think that you got your name from the Arsenal soccer team, but that is not true. We're debunking that.
Yes, we are.
Talk about the name, because I think that's so cool, the history behind that.
So the name of Arsenal Tap Room came from the actual old Augusta Arsenal, which was, you know, a weaponry and armament located on a portion of the Augusta University campus. In fact, there's a street over there named Arsenal, which had one of the entrances to it. And when you come into the bar, I'll be able to show you a picture of the entrance to that old Augusta Arsenal with the gate to it. So
that's so cool.
Awesome.
So you guys have that image in.
We do.
Wow, really cool. And so let's get into this, because I know there's a lot to talk about. You guys have almost, I think it's 25 plus or 20 plus craft beers, and then 75 cans and bottles, all different types. And right here you have quite a few that you brought with you that we're going to get into. So tell me about craft beer. Why do you love it so much? And why should people love it so much?
You know, it's new that a lot of people are starting to understand craft beer is very diverse. You know, a lot of people would think it's an IPA or just a stout, but there is such a wide range of different styles and different flavor profiles. There's always something typically that's going to appeal to everybody. You just have to find what it is that appeals to you.
And I was telling him, you know, I'm never not one to try anything. You know, I want to be open to trying every type of wine, beer, whatever it is. And so I was telling you, though, I love like a crisp, nice, a lighter beer with some flavor, maybe some apple. And you have one in particular that I want to start off with. I want to show off because it's actually from Texas, y'all. So talk to me about this.
So what we have here is Argus Fermentables out of Austin, Texas. This is their ginger perry. So perry means it's a cider that has been fermented from pears with ginger added. So it's going to be spicy, dry, very crisp with a nice balanced flavor. One of the other things I really love about them is they don't add any post-fermentation sugar. So any sweetness that is derived from this is only from the fermentation process, not because they added anything on the back end.
And the process, why don't you talk about this? We have this right here. These are actual hops. It's what they look like. They almost look like dried Brussels sprouts. I'm going to call them, what did I say, the pistachio hops.
Pistachio hops,
pistachio Brussels hops. And I know that's not what they're called, but and I could smell them. This actually, there's so many different kinds of hops and different malts. We have the malts too that change the color, the flavor, and you know a lot about it. I was asking you questions because I was so interested. Like, there's so many different colors. That's what makes the beer different.
That's correct. That is definitely one of the major aspects that changes your beer. Germans have a term for it. It's called Reinheitsgebot, which is Reinheitsgebot, which is just the law that governs what can be put in beer. You know, and the hops and the grains are two of the essential ingredients.
Well, one of the other important things I think to mention is the process behind pouring the beer, because it's a science. You guys have really narrowed that down, narrowed it in, and you have a process, and I want you to talk about it, because you couldn't bring it with you, but we do have a video that we're going to be showing. Tell me about that. Why is that important when it comes to pouring a beer?
So when you go to a lot of really good craft beer bars, you're going to notice they have like a glass rinser.
Yeah.
That you're going to take your glass and we're going to push it down on there and it's going to shoot water up into there.
Okay.
And a lot of people say, well, shouldn't my glass be clean already?
Clean already,
but this is not cleaning the glass. No, yes, it might rinse out any dust or particles or anything there. But more importantly, it does a couple things. One, it chills the glass because the water's coming out of that sprayer more approximate to the temperature of the beer. So if your glass is stored at room temperature, it might be a little warm. So it's going to chill it down. Nice. It's also going to provide a lubricated surface for your beer to go down as you pour it into that glass. And that does a couple different things. Primarily, that creates the head formation. Head formation is important for a few different other things. Gives your nose and your aroma, but also when you release that carbonation doesn't go into your belly as much either.
There you go. You're not bloated.
You're not bloated as much. Which a lot of people say that.
There's so much interesting facts that go into this, and I actually want to continue to talk about this. Do not go anywhere, because when we come back, he's still going to be with us, the beer genius. We'll be right back. Hey everyone, welcome back to The Dish. I'm in the kitchen with the beer genius, Frankie.
Oh, wow.
Listen, I'm embarrassing you, right? All your friends are going to be like, what?
Yes.
So you're the beer genius?
That's fine, though.
Yeah, we like that name. Go, bring him his trophy, please. Listen, so you're from Arsenal Tap Room. We just finished talking about all the different types of beers. Well, we didn't really get into all of them because there's so many that you guys offer.
That's great.
You are also a restaurant, so you do serve food. We're going to get into that a little bit later. But I want to finish where we left off, because we were talking about the process of actually, before you pour the beer, there's some science behind it. There's a little gadget that you use. People think it's to clean the glass, but that's not the case.
That's correct.
What is it about?
So we're talking about the glass rinser.
Yes.
So that glass rinser is going to make sure your glass has a lubricated surface to make proper head formation, release some of that carbonation so the carbonation isn't in your belly. Yeah, because a lot of people say, well, I don't like to drink beer because it makes me feel bloated. Well, that's part of the science behind why we do that. And some beers, like this one, isn't going to have as much carbonation because this is a cider.
Okay.
So it'll be a lot drier.
I can't wait to try this. And so we talk about the head formation. Why is that important too? I mean, obviously not so that we're not bloated, but why else?
So just like anything that you eat or drink, you typically smell it before you taste it. And so we know your nose and your mouth, your palate's all tied together. So as those little bubbles are popping and you're bringing that beer to your face, you're getting aromas coming off of it. So your senses are already starting to fire on, well, what is it that I'm about to taste? Yeah, exactly correct.
And so it changes everything. I mean, the experience, it's an experience. And you really, at Arsenal Tap Room, you are focused in on, the people coming in. You want the entire experience. So you guys just do it right there.
We sure do.
Yeah, so let's start pouring some beer. And let's talk, while we're pouring the beer, let's talk about the difference between bottle, we have can, and then you have the draft. What is the difference? What's better, what's not?
So, common in the community, most of the beer nerds will say that draft is better. And I'd say yes, I would agree with that. But it is open to debate because sometimes you're not going to store these beers in kegs for years and years and years. Although you could. So bottle aging and bottle conditioning them and cellaring them is actually the preferred method sometimes. It's just easier. So,
and so there's so much science behind that too.
Because
you were talking to me about the dark bottles.
That's correct.
To keep light out so it doesn't the process doesn't kind of overheat, I guess you could say.
Yeah, you could say that.
Which creates it to be a little bit more,
it can get stronger. The gravity can go up. It can get a little maltier, a little sweeter, because there's a lot more things going on.
I'm going to be a beer genius by the end of this.
You already are.
Educating me. Okay, so let's pour one of these. There's different cups, and I don't know, there's probably a reason for that too, right?
There is.
Okay.
Traditionally, a tulip is the commonly accepted glass that you want to use.
Can I crack this open?
But yeah, crack it open.
All right, let's do it. Maybe I should do it straight out of the can. Woo, look at that.
And so you can see just when we open it, because that is a drier cider made with probably some champagne yeasts, it had a little bit of foam that popped up immediately.
Immediately. So. And so can I pour that? Can I actually pour this?
Yeah, sure.
Into this one? Is it right? Now let's see if I can actually work there.
about 45 degrees, and don't be scared to pour it.
I can't. Okay,
because again, we want some of that head formation to occur, so you can just dump it in. And that's part of the science behind pouring it.
Beautiful that is.
It's great looking, great looking cider.
There you go.
Some of them are harder to draw a head off of. Again, this is a cider, so it's not going to be as big of a head formation.
Ooh, you're right. It does kind of have that champagne feel, but it's lighter, and I can taste the cider, the apple, or not apple, it's pear, actually.
That's correct. It's pear.
So good. Oh, my goodness. Yes. I love it. Well, listen, we're going to talk about food when we come back. We're also going to talk about pairing. We're going to continue to pour some more beer. Stay right there. We're going to be back with Frankie in just a little bit.
Sure.
I love it. Welcome back to The Dish. I'm joined by Frankie Quayle from Arsenal Tap Room. We've been talking about all different types of beer. And you've really taught me a lot about, you've educated me, because you are officially a beer nerd, right?
I think so. I'm getting there.
I mean that the best way possible. But we're talking about the different types and how you pour. That just looks fabulous right there.
That's good looking beer.
Right? I love that. So tell me about that one. What is that?
So this is the Eyinger Marzen, or an Oktoberfest, because obviously we like to stay in line with whatever seasonal beers are going on. But this is a true to form from Eyinger, Germany. Oktoberfest beer, considered one of the best Oktoberfests around.
Very nice.
Also called Marzens.
And listen, I'm sure that this goes really well with some of the food that you guys have. I've been dying to get over here as well, because if you're going to drink some beer, you got to have some food too.
That's right.
And you all serve the staples, the grilled cheese, and like you said, I mean, it's a little bit more like a comfort food. You're going to hang out, get some food, drink some good beer, and you also mentioned there's a beer for everyone, right? And so grilled cheese, typically you can kind of drink, you know, grilled cheese with a little bit of everything.
That's right.
It goes with everything.
It really does.
But what would you pair some of these with? Because I know that they have different flavors as well.
Yes.
You might have a smoked cheese or smoked barbecue chicken. You know, talk to me about that and what goes well.
So for a good example, over here on the right-hand side, we have our Deliverance, which is a southern dry rub, sous vide for 18 hours, and slow smoked for about another 6 hours, pulled pork sandwich. Something like that would typically pair well with a little darker beer, something roastier, a smoky beer, maybe like a stout. Or an imperial porter would go great with that sandwich.
You just make it sound so good.
Yes.
Right?
It is good.
And if you're,
really
kind of hesitant about beer, you can go and ask Frankie a bunch of questions. He's there to answer them all for you. If you're going to order something, maybe before, you can talk to him about what you can pair with it. So it's good. And I'm going to eat one of these tater tots too. But so tell me again about Arsenal Tap Room, because I love the feel and the environment of it.
So, essentially what it boils down to is we are a neighborhood pub. We know a lot of our regulars. We like to get to know you on a first-name basis. Like to get to know what you drink, what you like, what you're into. And we're definitely going to cater to you. Because, again, it's a small beer garden style. So it's pretty close in there.
Well, and listen, you talk about if you do find a beer that you enjoy, you can also take it home with you.
That's correct.
To go. You have the license to do that.
We have a license to sell you unopened package. Or if you just want to pop in and buy one of these awesome beers and take it home, you can do that also.
Wow.
That's correct.
That's really fun. So what an experience that you guys offer there at Arsenal Tap Room. We also talked about these beers. I have to mention again because it looks like champagne and wine, but that's actually beer too. So they're bottled, packaged differently, and you got some really clever names to these beers as well.
Yes.
Like the Green Zebra.
The Green Zebra, yes.
What else? The Sour Monkey. So cute.
Or this one over here, this sour
I don't know if I should say cute, right? But
you have the Hallo, ich bin Berliner Weiss, which literally translated is hello, my name is Berliner Weiss.
Okay.
German sour.
So something for everybody.
Something for everybody.
And when you say sour, what does that mean? Because someone might say, ooh, sour, but I think
it literally is a beer that's going to hit you back here a little bit.
Okay.
It's going to make you pucker. You hear a lot of people go,
Speaking of, I just got to take another little drink.
Yes.
But yeah, so.
Cheers to that.
Cheers, that's right. So I love, this one in particular. You said it's from Austin, Texas.
That's right.
I love it. So, again, if you guys are interested in visiting Arsenal Tap Room, it's in historic Somerville. You got to go ask Frankie a bunch of questions. Let's see if you could stump him.
Yeah,
'cause he's a
we'd love to
genius.
help you.
That's right. Well, thank you so much for being here,
Thank
for
you so
helping us
much.
out. I can't wait to try all these different beers now.
Yes,
I
it's going to be
love
awesome.
it. Exactly. So I'll see you there at Arsenal
That's
Taproom.
correct.
Hope you'll join
We'll
me.
see you
All
too.
right. Exactly. Do not go anywhere. When we come back, my inner child and myself are going to the Georgia Carolina State Fair.